It's my lunch. Looks like we've got another storm coming in tonight. It's not windy yet, but to the west, there's quite a storm head forming over there. So I've discovered something kind of interesting. I don't know if you noticed, but it was yesterday when I produced it, but the last episode of Tedium Unlimited, it's got a lot of wind noise in my phone. And those were the scenes where I was not using the Zoom microphone connection, which you get a lot of wind noise with the Zoom if it's plugged in. But normally the mic on the iPhone does not, but now it does. And it was very surprising to me because I usually don't have to worry about that one. And I may be doing it right now because I just stepped out into the wind. Yeah, that was noisy. It's this cover. This cover redirects the microphone, which is normally on the bottom of the phone, and it redirects it forward so it's actually facing me. So if the wind is at my back, it's blowing directly into the microphone. That's not a good thing. There was a storm during the night, and, the temperature is actually quite nice this morning. It's 73 degrees. That is such a change. It won't last, of course. The sun will come out, it'll come up, the steam will start rising. It'll be horrible. I'm told it's construction day today. Yesterday, early, after I complained a few up the chain, yesterday finally somebody contacted me and said, hey, we'll have a drywall team out on Wednesday, tomorrow. I said, that's great. And we'll have an electrical team out tomorrow, too. They're going to get both of those taken care of today. So, working at home today, but they're supposed to have somebody here fairly soon to drywall her up and get the electricity working again. That will be nice. The insurance guy came out, too, to look at the floor. And I guess we're getting a new floor because he took a piece of my floor. For analysis. Apparently there's some lab they send it to. They send the floor planks. The lab looks at it, says, yeah, that's the cheapest possible floor ever made. Give them 25 cents a square foot for it, or whatever it is that they do. I know it was cheap floor. All right, let's take that back. It was inexpensive floor. It came from Costco. Costco does not sell cheap products. They sell quality products at a good price. So they had this type of flooring for a while, which we availed ourselves of because it seemed like a good deal, but I just do not remember how much it was a square foot. But subsequently, they've gotten different kinds of flooring that is nicer, and they don't have this anymore. But either way, I guess that's moving along too. I hear Taz barking. That's rare, therefore it's probably the construction guys. The drywallers are here. Of course, they've arrived before the electricians, which is, exactly the wrong order. But that's what I expected. Because it's exactly the wrong order, and that's just the way these things work. So they're here. There's a surplus of mud that the bricklayers left that was behind that half cut off sheet of drywall. I mean, it just absolutely, they must have stuck tons in there. So they're in there chipping it off now. Well, they won't even be able to put the drywall up. 2:15 in the afternoon, and the electricians have arrived. Well, that's timely. They were going to stop at the yard and then get some breakfast on their way in this morning. And what a heck of a breakfast they must have had. They worked quite late yesterday. The electricians didn't leave here till after 6 p.m., which surprised the heck out of me, but they're paid by the job, not by the hour, so they wanted to get it done. And they were being chased out by the storm. Lightning storm came in and they were out working. it was beginning to rain, and they did button it up. Some interesting things, anyway, along the way. Let me show you what's happened. So, for starters, the drywall is all in, and they've put the texture back on it, so they got all that taken care of. It's all done. It's not painted, but that's fine. Let the texture dry. And the electrical outlets are back in now. Let me ask you a question. If you're in your house and you're in a room, in part of the room that you don't use very often, could you go, yeah, there's an electrical outlet there, there, and there? Well, I know what code is for an electrical outlet, and this house does not meet code, or at least not modern code. It did when it was made, where outlets have to be, how far they have to be. So you just kind of have a feel for it. So, there'll be things in front of things, and there could be an electrical outlet back there, or there might not be one. Well, those electrical things that we had pointed out outside, the one that hadn't been put back in the wall and the one that had. Well, the one that had is back in, and it's all taken care of. But when they pulled the thing apart, the one that hadn't been put in, it was blanked off. So the box that was in the wall had a metal cover on it. It did not have an outlet in it. There was absolutely no blank outlet here. So it was actually completely covered up. Possibly completely by the drywall, we don't know. But anyway, they put it in anyhow. But here's the weird thing. It's not a standard electrical outlet. In the United States, we have 100, 110, 120, 110, 120, whatever it is. And single phase electric with a neutral. And that's normal outlets. And then if you get into somewhere like a kitchen, you're going to have 20 amp, you're going to have a little bit higher, but still single phase. Then you get up into a dryer, and you're going to go to a double phase 220. And that's what this is. It's a 30 amp 220 pull. So whatever was there was a high draw electrical device. They put it in, we'll blank it out. They traced it back to the circuit panel. It's to a 30 amp breaker that didn't have any, wasn't turned on, has nothing else attached to it. So now I've got this extra 30 amp 220 outlet, or at least place for an outlet. They also fixed up this wall over here, and haven't fixed the window yet, which, well, you can't probably see it. Still broken. But if you look down here very carefully, you may be able to see daylight shining through. They haven't done a great job there, but I'm guessing maybe that can be caulked up. So that's pretty much it for this. I'm going to see if they can't come out next Wednesday and do the painting, which means that's got to go. My desk is going to be disassembled, and unfortunately, because they took the garbage out so fast, I didn't even have time to take it out and dump it. So I'm going to have to do something with that desk. Yeah. Anyway, one other problem while I'm just at least he didn't hit the house. One other problem we're having is about a week ago, and we've had Taz for many years. And a week ago, I came home from work, and he was, he really, really needed to go out and pee, which is not like him. He can leave him all day and come home, and half the time he doesn't want to go out because it's too hot. But he really needed to go. But sometimes. So let him out, and he gave it about a 5-minute pee, and that's been every day. And one day, he didn't do that, and then somebody stepped in the wet spot back in the back of the house in front of James's room. So he snuck out of the kitchen and went back there and peed on the carpet. In fact, he's trying to wake us up in the middle of the night. So just overnight, he started having to pee in a much, much shorter period of time. And think we're probably going to have to take him into a vet. It doesn't seem to be getting better. He peed on the floor yesterday while the electricians were here and the drywallers, but then they were here for a long time and he was trapped. He was trapped, but he was in the kitchen so he wouldn't bother them. And then this morning, somebody forgot to keep the gate shut, and when I came home, he wasn't at all interested in going to the bathroom, and it turns out that he had gone back there because they'd left the gate open, and back in front of Jane's room, and he'd peed on the carpet again. I don't know what we're going to do with him. That can't continue. Phenomenally bad night's sleep last night. Had a really bad indigestion, so I tried sleeping for the first time on the recliners, and that didn't work. I spent like hours in agony trying to sleep on it. So then I went over to the love seat, which is the first time I've tried it since we've drastically reduced it, and I spent hours there tossing and turning in agony. I mean, my knees and my ankles and my back and everything just ache. And then I just finally gave up after the heartburn went away, and I went into bed and figured, I'd catch the last hour or two of sleep for the night. And Chuan tells me that I actually came into bed about 11 o'clock after having gone to bed at 10:30 in the chair. So that was the longest 30 minutes of my life, and I am in absolute agony this morning. And I feel like somebody bent me up like a pretzel and left me hanging somewhere. It's terrible. But on the plus side, we've got lights in the driveway again because of the electricians fixing it. So off we go.